One shot. Let's begin. Ashita Shinu, or Will Die Tomorrow. Today we're reading Anokishia by Aoi Eiki. So this is a collection of short stories about people who will die or maybe, want to die. So keep in mind there are suicidal ideations potentially in here or strong themes of death or similar things of the like. Now, if you'll notice, I skipped like three in a row here, and this one. Basically there was a little bit too much overt depiction of like sex, and that's one of the things where I draw the lines at these videos here because um I've already gotten like strikes for One Piece stuff, which is like copyright stuff here. And if I ever do get bigger again, I think the problem is gonna be they'll be like, oh, graphic depictions here, and I'd be rightfully put it or whatever. So we're gonna begin with 7 instead of all the other stuff. So let's begin, everybody. Hopefully that this isn't another video I just kind of have to trash midway through. Mr. Baskerville, I'm sorry I couldn't do more for you. When is it? Tomorrow at 3 p.m. I heard you didn't request a special final meal. Yeah, come tomorrow. It doesn't matter what I eat. From the start, you didn't put up a fight in the courtroom, and it seemed you had given up. Why was that? I could ask the same with why you represent me. All others turned it down. I wanted to know. I wanted to know why you did it. Oh, why you split open your lover's chest and ate his heart. You know, you're not cut out to be a lawyer. 2 years ago. Let's see. What are you? I saw something bad. I know that much. Are you gonna eat me too? Not right away. I don't need you yet, but I can't let you go. I'm not planning on telling anyone, although I guess that's hard to believe. I'm Julian. Julian Kissinger. What's your name? Ray Baskerville. Ray, what are you? Your eyes. They glow. Why aren't you afraid? Of course I'm afraid. I'm just on the brink of death myself, so the death you offer isn't special. Probably going to die soon, so could you just wait a little bit? You could do as you like afterwards. Hey, why do you do this sort of thing? Why do you want to know? No reason. It's called making conversation, Ray. Until I die, there's still time. Are you going to just watch me silently until I die? Since you're here anyway, let's talk, Ray. If I don't eat human hearts, I fall into a state of intense starvation and lose consciousness. In that hazy state, I attack humans, and as I eat, I wake. That's once every year, every few years, and I can't stay in one place for long. If you don't eat people, will you die? Probably. Even if I try to see what happens, I just wake up eating someone. You ask what I am. I suppose I'm something like a human that preys on humans. But in other ways, I'm the same as a human. I can get hurt, and I'll die if someone shoots me. Till I get caught and killed, I have to hunt in order to live. I've lived like that for a long time. I see. This whole time, you were also all alone. Julian, you should sleep. I think it's soon. You could feel it, right? Right? I can't. I can't. Not you. It's how you've lived all this time, right? If you must live like that, take my heart while it still beats. That's how I want it to end. Let's be together, Ray. Please, let me inside. Let's see. Yes, I haven't counted, but the bodies without hearts in town. That's all me. There are over 60 confirmed deaths currently. They're all you? You took the hearts and ate them? Yes, I killed them all. I'm not going to plead insanity either. All of them. I remember all of them. Wilted flowers. At the scene of the crime, there were flowers, postcards, and books too, for Kissinger who loved traveling. If you loved him, why? Did you possibly feel that although the flowers would fade, It was beautiful. In the hundreds of years I've lived, I've never had one. I never had, I suppose, a human's heart. That's unreasonable, unstable heart. But I ended up understanding it. He's here now. But he's not beside me anymore. I realized that, but I had to walk on, and I would inevitably hunt again. As long as he lives within me, I can't end myself. That'd be like killing him twice. So I have to leave that to others. I'm telling you this out of respect for you. Please, don't tell anyone. Who could I even tell? He's a murderer who takes lives of so many people. He ought to be punished, but it may not be for us humans to judge him. The human-eating beast and the man who sated his loneliness for the very first time. Perhaps he's the one capable of judgment and of redemption. All right, all right. So what does Anokishia mean? I don't know what that means. Let me check. That's a new word for me. Anokishia definition: the total depletion of oxygen or low oxygen. So I guess because he's like a vampire, like he has no oxygen, right? So I honestly didn't get the vampire thing until like midway through the story, or not even midway through the story. When he says, "What are you?" I saw something bad. I legitimately thought he was just a cannibal, like straight up. I'm like, okay, he's a cannibal here. And then when it comes to this here, your eyes they glow. I didn't think that his eyes literally glowed. I thought it was just something to say like, "Oh man, you have that killer's intent. You have that serial killer's intent." Maybe that's just me not reading too deeply into this or not understanding. I did not realize this was a mystical thing here, right? Um, and and maybe you got to help readers like me who don't even know, right? So for this one, and I think you'd have to make his eyes a little more distinct. I can kind of see it a little bit now, um, but not particularly compared to everybody else, right? Like I don't think his eyes are particularly special. I guess they kind of stand out maybe a little bit more, but yeah. So maybe if they had like a little like fang here or something smaller, or they made it like whoa, you ripped it out of their heart cage, right? That would be the thing that gets me the most. Like you ripped it out. Okay, like that. You don't even seem human. Oh, okay. I guess there is a little thing there. Okay, I'm just bad at reading this here. I did not get the vampire thing at all, or maybe it was so subtle I didn't realize it. That's on me. Okay, that's completely on me and my poor literacy skills here. So, and I think that there is some beauty in this story that's to be told. I feel like there should be a little bit more to it, honestly. This might benefit from like another 5 to 10 pages. Um, because I think that this does make a lot of sense, and I do kind of like where it goes from here. I kind of wanted a little bit more from this guy and this guy here. Like maybe a little bit less of this here. Like, oh no, I guess this is fine here. Right? I have to hunt a kill. You're also alone. Julie, I think you should sleep here. Let's be together. Please let me inside. I don't know. I kind of wanted a little bit more of like Ray, but I guess we didn't need any more, right? Maybe that's not on the story. That's maybe a plus of the story where I'm like, yeah, I probably needed a little bit more between them. Um, and I'm also like, this guy turned himself in. What's gonna happen to him there? How's he gonna die? Right? And then he basically said nobody can do whatever. Why should we judge him? Right? Perhaps he's the only one capable of judgment and redemption. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this story. This is one that I think has a lot more potential, and I think with maybe a little tweaking, and I wouldn't know how to tweak it as a thing. I think it has some very beautiful lines. I think like this one here, where is it here? As long as he lives within me, I can't end myself. That'd be like killing him twice. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful concept. Um, without this throughout the story, and maybe you want to build the story around this too, where it's like, oh, okay, are his ears no, his ears aren't like that. Sorry, I'm just still trying to get the vampire aesthetic with him. Like maybe you want to build that story around him, right? Where like, and maybe you could compare this, like, I could play with the audience having a little too much sex, but maybe you could be like, hey, he's eating people's hearts, but you could kind of do it to like the whole meaningless sex or meaningless relationships versus lovely fulfilled ones. I think that could be like a reasonable way to take the story, where it's like, oh, he felt not lonely for the first time, right? For the first time, he felt seen, he felt loved, he felt whatever. And that's why eating this heart was especially, changed him for the better, right? For the others, they were just a means to an end. They were just to satisfy his desire, his lust, maybe, or you can compare it to lust or have that be a thing. Compared to this, where it's like, oh, he found love, and unfortunately, that love ended quickly, right? And I do like the little tribute that they paid in the flower here, where it says, "If you loved him, why'd you possibly feel that although the flowers fade, it was beautiful?" Right? I think that's a little on point, which is fine here. I've never had one, never had a human's heart. Then reasonable and stable, but I ended up understanding it. He's here now. I think that these are beautiful, or maybe even shortening it a bit, or maybe just straight up making him a cannibal would be a thing. Right? I shouldn't be advocating for the cannibalism here. But I think that there is like a, I don't like how did the vampire aspect, I think, is what gets me a little bit more. I think maybe you expand on that, like hundreds of years of loneliness, right? Because again, I didn't even realize he was a vampire for this very very long time here. I thought he was just a guy. And if you made him a vampire who stayed young, had to like, no, I've had to leave, never able to build stuff here. I knew it was going to end, so we couldn't get closer, and then build off that, right? And he found this one person. Even if it's for a day, he finally understood this irrational love that people are capable of, right? Or maybe he could just do the cannibal thing where he does go like victim to victim and like he goes crazy. And like since he maybe he could do it like he blacks out, right? And he blacks out every time and he has this unhinged desire to like go and kill them and he's disgusted with himself, right? But when the guy says, "Hey, do it with me while like I'm alive, while you're fully lucid," it's like, "Oh, what?" And of course, you're still condemning him for the disgusting act of eating another person's heart while they're still alive, right? That's why he's on trial. That's why he's this here. Like maybe even in this disgusting person's mind here, there's still that sense of beauty or humanity, right? I think you could do something like that there. I think you just got to play with these two concepts a little bit more, and I think there's a lot more potential in the story here. Um, I'm kind of afraid to check this person. There's so much like okay, it's just this person's here. Okay, just romance, got it. Because like the problem with a lot of these things is that like the cover will just say erotica, and then it's like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So yeah, like I'm not gonna go on the Twitter. I'm just yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna risk it. But yeah, this story I think it could do well with just a little bit more reworking, and I don't mean that in a like, hey, this is a terrible, terrible story. I think it is a reasonable story with like good moments, but in order to get those like strong feelings, it needs to be a bit deeper. Like I loved you were smiling. Um, the Honest Heart was a pretty okay story here. And then this one was, solid as well. I think it could have been reworked a little bit as well. But yeah, I guess that's everything. So, all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for being born, y'all. Peace out.